Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to take a little trip back to the early days of television, 1950 to be exact. And back then, TV was still finding its footing. But there were already some huge hits that had families glued to their tiny screens. And today, we're counting down the top 10 shows of the 1950-1951 season. At number 10, Mama. Mama premiered in the summer of 1949 and was based on the popular 1944 stage play and 1948 movie I Remember Mama, both which were adapted from Catherine Forbes' 1943 book Mama's Bank Account. The show followed the lives of a loving Norwegian family in the early 20th century living in San Francisco. The series starred Peggy Wood as the wise and caring Mama, who guided her children, Katrin, Nels, and Dagmar, with patience and old world wisdom. The series was filmed live and was known for its wholesome storytelling, focusing on everyday family life. The show resonated with audiences who appreciated its gentle humor and touching life lessons. Mama aired Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern on CBS.
But most of all, when I look through this album, most of all, I remember Mama.
Yes, here's Mama. Brought to you by Maxwell House Coffee, the richer, mellower blend. Already a favorite in Mama's time, today more people buy and enjoy Maxwell House than any other brand at any price.
At number 9, Hopalong Cassidy. Hopalong Cassidy first appeared in Western novels in the early 1900s, before becoming a big hit in the movies. Hoppy was known for his black outfit, upright morals, dedication to justice, and of course his white horse Topper. The long-running film series ended in 1948, and in 1949, William Boyd, who played the title character, obtained the rights to his old films, and he saw the potential in this new medium of television, and had the idea to take his films to NBC, hoping the network would air them. NBC tried them out, and the initial broadcasts were so successful that NBC did not want to wait for an original television series to be produced. So they edited the feature films down to broadcast length. And thanks to the success of this 1-hour series, William Boyd began working on a separate series of half-hour Hopalong Westerns that were made especially for television. Hopalong Cassidy aired on NBC and was originally shown on Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, but in 1950 it was switched to Sundays at 6 p.m. Coming in at number 8, Arthur Godfrey's Talent Scouts. Arthur Godfrey's Talent Scouts first hit the airways as a radio show in the summer of 1946. When it made the jump to television, Arthur Godfrey remained the host, bringing his signature on-air charm to the small screen. The concept was simple. Each week, Talent Scouts introduced new performers who competed for the audience's approval. The acts covered everything from singers and musicians to comedians and other entertainers. The winner was chosen based on an applause meter, which measured how loud the studio audience cheered for the act. Talent Scouts aired Monday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on CBS.
Delicious Lipton soups and tempting frosty desserts present Arthur Godfrey's Talent Scout.
Number 7, The Lone Ranger. Clayton Moore starred as the Lone Ranger, a masked Texas Ranger who fought for justice in the Old West with his loyal companion Tonto, played by Jay Silverheels. The show followed the adventures of the Lone Ranger as he traveled across the frontier, righting wrongs and helping those in need. The Lone Ranger wore a black mask, a white hat, carried silver bullets, and rode his white horse Silver. "Hi-yo, Silver, away!" became one of the most memorable catchphrases in TV history. Episodes usually featured the Lone Ranger and Tonto taking on outlaws, corrupt officials, and other troublemakers while standing up for fairness and justice. The show had a strong moral message, emphasizing honesty, integrity, and helping others. The Lone Ranger aired on Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ABC. Number 6, Gillette Cavalcade of Sports. Gillette Cavalcade of Sports was a radio program that transitioned to network television in 1946. Sponsored by the Gillette Company, the program occasionally featured events like college football and baseball, but was best known for its boxing coverage, featuring some of the most memorable fights of the era. Bob Stanton initially hosted the show, but by 1950, Jimmy Powers had become the principal announcer. The show played a significant role in popularizing professional boxing, bringing stars like Sugar Ray Robinson, Rocky Marciano, and Joe Louis into living rooms across America. It also set the standard for sports broadcasting, with its innovative use of slow motion replays and multiple camera angles. Gillette Cavalcade of Sports aired on Friday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern on NBC. At number 5, the Colgate Comedy Hour. The Colgate Comedy Hour featured a rotating lineup of famous hosts. The 1950 season included comedy legends like Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, Eddie Cantor, and Fred Allen. The show was known for its mix of comedy sketches, musical performances, and big name guest stars. Each episode brought a different style depending on the host, ranging from slapstick humor to stand up comedy and musical numbers. The Colgate Comedy Hour premiered on September 10th, 1950. It was an instant hit, competing in the same time slot as Ed Sullivan's Toast of the Town and beating Ed in the ratings. The shows were broadcast live, adding to the excitement and the unpredictability, and it had Martin and Lewis, who were an audience favorite. The Colgate Comedy Hour aired on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern on NBC.
The Colgate Comedy Hour has been presented by Halo Shampoo to glorify your hair and Ajax the Foaming Action Cleanser.
Number 4, Your Show of Shows. Your Show of Shows was a live 90-minute TV variety show that starred Sid Caesar and Imogene Coca, with Carl Reiner and Howard Morris in supporting roles. The show featured a mix of comedy sketches, musical performances, and satirical takes on everyday life, making it one of the most influential shows of its time. What made Your Show of Shows stand out was the incredible writing. The writing team was stacked with talent, including Mel Tolkien, Neil Simon, Mel Brooks, and Carl Reiner, who all went on to have legendary careers in comedy and film. The show often parodied movies, opera, and even silent films, with Sid Caesar's knack for gibberish and physical comedy stealing the spotlight. And Imogene Coca was the perfect comedy partner for Caesar, bringing her expressive facial reactions and impeccable timing to their sketches. Whether they were playing bickering married couple, the Hickenloopers, or spoofing a popular trend, their chemistry was undeniable. Your Show of Shows aired on Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern on NBC. Number 3, Philco Television Playhouse. Philco Television Playhouse was an American anthology drama series sponsored by the Philco Corporation, which was a major manufacturer of radios and televisions at the time. The show featured live hour-long dramas that brought compelling storytelling and top-tier performances to the small screen. During its run, Philco Television Playhouse became known for showcasing original teleplays and adaptations of classic works, often written by emerging playwrights and screenwriters who would later become big names in Hollywood and Broadway. Like other anthology series of the time, these broadcasts often featured up-and-coming actors who went on to have notable careers in film and television, including James Dean. Philco Television Playhouse aired on Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern on NBC. Coming in at number 2, Fireside Theater. Fireside Theater was one of the earliest film dramatic shows produced specifically for television, bringing viewers a new self-contained story each week, featuring different characters and settings. The series primarily focused on drama, but occasionally included romance and lighthearted themes. Fireside Theater premiered in the spring of 1949. The early seasons, including the 1950-51 season, were produced on a low budget and often featured stories based on public domain material. Although critics dismissed the series, it remained popular with the television audience. Fireside Theater aired on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern on NBC. And the number one show is Texaco Star Theater began as a popular radio program that premiered in 1938. It made the jump to television in 1948 and became a must-watch show, thanks largely to its host, comedian Milton Berle. The show was reminiscent of an old-fashioned vaudeville variety hour, featuring singers, comedians, ventriloquists, and acrobats, just about anything you could think of. But the real star was Milton Berle, who didn't just host, but would jump into many of the acts himself. Each episode kicked off with 4 Texaco servicemen singing the Texaco jingle, cleverly weaving in Milton's introduction. And he would make his grand entrance, often dressed in an over-the-top, outrageous costume that set the tone for the fun to come. This show dominated Tuesday nights, and after its debut, television sales doubled. Milton Berle became one of TV's first superstars, earning him the nickname Mr. Television. Texaco Star Theater aired on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern on NBC. And there you have it, the top 10 TV shows of the 1950-1951 season. Did any of these surprise you? It's crazy to think about how much television has changed since then, but these shows were the true pioneers. Let me know if you remember any of these classics. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like this sort of content, please subscribe. And thank you so much for watching.